Imagine this. What if no one owed us anything and we, in return, owed no one anything? Today we delve into the intriguing concept of freedom from the ties of reciprocal obligations. What if we could cleanse our relationships of this debt and expectation? This radical concept challenges our typical understanding of giving and receiving. We are often tethered to the belief that our interactions are transactional, love for love, time for time. But consider a world without this give and take. How would our relationships transform? What would they look like stripped of these implied obligations? The idea that we owe or are owed forms the backbone of many societal norms. What if these expectations we carry are burdens we've chosen to bear? When we labor tirelessly day and night, pouring love into our children's lives, it's not because we anticipate them to repay us when they grow up. Our actions are rooted in love, not in expectations of reciprocation. These tiny beings that we nurture owe us nothing, not now, not in the future. The same philosophy extends to our relationships with our friends' family. When proactively extend a helping hand, it's not a transaction. We don't seek payback. It's an act of love, an emotion so profound that it transcends beyond the realm of numerical calculations and obligations. This love is not limited to our immediate circle, but extends to those we interact with on a basis. Our colleagues, our acquaintances, and even if we extend our assistance, it's purely out of kindness. It's not a calculated move. It's not because we expect an equivalent return. It's simply because we believe in the power of, if we lend them a hand, it's out of kindness. Not because we expect them to reciprocate exactly what we've given. The principle of expecting nothing in return is crucial. When we attach any kind of expectation to our acts of goodwill, we are essentially preparing ourselves for a letdown. This anticipated disappointment can give birth to a cascade of negative emotions, which in turn produce negative thoughts. These thoughts, if left unchecked, have the potential to transform into negative life events. It's when we extend our assistance to others purely driven by love and devoid of any expectation of reciprocation that we unlock a gateway to a world abundant with positivity. This process triggers a sort of ripple effect in our existence. As we give, so we receive. This law of the universe might not always ensure that we receive in form or from the same source we gave, but it always ensures a balance. And when someone does extend kindness towards us, it's absolutely crucial to express sincere gratitude. This is not merely an act of good manners or common courtesy, it's an essential component of human interaction. It is the acknowledgement of another person's good intention and their effort to make our lives better. Gratitude is an expression of love and respect for the other person. It acknowledges their kindness, their patience, and their understanding. It recognizes the beauty of their soul and the purity of their intentions. It's the conscious act of appreciating the goodness they've brought into our lives, the smiles they've given us, and the warmth they've shared. However, it's equally important not to feel guilty if we're unable to repay them in the same way. Many times we may find ourselves lacking the means or the resources to reciprocate the kindness shown to us, and this is perfectly fine. It's okay to accept kindness with grace and humility, without feeling pressing need to repay it in kind. The world doesn't operate on a system of tick for tack or barter. It's not about keeping scores or maintaining a ledger of done and received. It's about fostering an environment of love and kindness. It's about creating a culture of empathy, compassion, and respect. It's about nurturing relationships based on mutual understanding and appreciation. It's not about keeping score. It's about fostering an environment of love and kindness. In conclusion, let's revisit the crucial points we've dissected today. 1. Nobody owes us anything, and we owe no one anything. This concept is fundamental. It's rooted in the belief that each of us exists independently, with our own set of responsibilities and freedoms. 2. The principle of altruism suggests that acts of kindness should be performed purely out of love, and not with any agenda or the expectation of some form of compensation in return. 3. Our disappointments often stem from unfulfilled expectations, which can create a vicious cycle of negativity and adverse happenings. It's essential to manage our expectations realistically. 4. The universe, in its mysterious ways, tends to balance out acts of kindness. It may not always be in the form we anticipate, but it is consistent in its equilibrium. 5. Lastly, when we are the recipients of kindness, it's vital to express gratitude genuinely. But remember, it's okay if we can't reciprocate in the same manner. In essence, Let's unshackle ourselves from the chains of owing and expectations. This is not an easy path to follow. It requires a strong will and the courage to break free from the established norms, but the rewards waiting on the other side are worth it. Imagine a world where we are not bound by the unseen threads of owing or the weight of expectations. A world where our actions are not driven by the fear of judgment or the pressure of reciprocation. In this world, our relationships become a source of joy, not a burden. Our interactions are not transactions, they become moments of pure connection. The quality of our mental health improves significantly as the burden of guilt and regret is lifted. The constant stress of meeting expectations fades away, replaced by a sense of peace and contentment. Remember, it's not about keeping score, it's about fostering an environment of love and kindness.